Hey guys, Llama here with another video, and today we are looking at some more create contraptions. So this is another 5x5x5 in my kind of little series of this. Before I had the 5x5x5 potato farm. It made cooked potatoes, and it was really neat, and I loved making it. So I was like, what can I make next? And iron farm. I was like, you know what? It would be really fun, a 5x5x5 iron farm. So this is utilizing above and beyond. I will admit right now there's some above and beyond mechanisms in this. If I did nuggets instead, or if I had, such as like brass age or something, I could technically make it, but I didn't want to do that. So this utilizes only chapter 1, only, andesite level stuff. And it's kind of wonky and kind of complicated on how it does stuff internally, and I made it bigger than it really needs to be. So I wanted to challenge myself. I said I want 4 cobblestone generators. So I have that right here. We're gonna go ahead from top to bottom. Also, just in case anyone's wondering, covers do not copy over. So once I post the schematic, it will have these instead of the covers. I don't know why, it just is what it is. Starting at the top, we have our cobblestone generator. This uses just a single source of lava, 4 sources of water stuffed in these stairs, because that's just a very good method. I love it. So we have that makes our cobblestone constantly, and then we have 4 drills hooked up to our system from the bottom. So once they're kind of broke, they go onto this conveyor belt set right here. So this is a 3x3 of conveyor belts. 3 of them go to this single belt right here, and once it gets into that single belt, like this cobblestone right here, it drops into this and goes in the millstone. Well, once it's in the millstone, it's going to grind up, turn into gravel, yada yada. It's going to pop out gravel right here, and then it's going to go into this side where we have a fan. So once it gets washed, it goes down. I could have made this a little bit better and just had this go straight across. I didn't really think about that when I made this. I'm not quite sure why I did it this way, but I did. So once it comes over this way, it goes into this funnel right here if it is flint. The flint goes into here, it's locked, drops out, and goes over to this one. Thus, the nuggets go straight through, go into this press, and once we have enough, which I'll go ahead and throw some nuggets in here. So once it has enough nuggets, it'll actually press down into a piece of iron. So once it does that, it'll drop out, it'll go into this guy right here, and there we go, we have our iron. This thing is very slow. So at the most, it can run at 4 RPM. That's it. 4 RPM is the max. The one that's based off windmills actually only goes at 2 RPM. This one actually has a creative motor under it, because since the windmills cannot be stopped unless otherwise they break something, I actually can't stop this one to copy it properly. So this is the one that's going to be up on Discord. This one's not. However, let me go ahead and try to explain a bit of what's going on here, in more detail. So we have the windmill at the bottom. It has the power that goes into the central unit. Well, central unit goes out. This guy right here, this gearbox, sends the power into this chain drive. This is kind of like this side's, backbone, I guess you could say. This is the backbone of this side. So it comes into here and thus goes out right here. Well, once it goes out of that, it goes into the belt. The belt then powers this, which this gearbox goes up into this chain drive, powering this, drill right here. Then it goes down a bit. Well, this piece of it goes over into this side and starts, moving it through this way, getting you to this belt right here. So that gets me this belt powered, and then this bottom chain drive is actually facing the opposite direction, because you can do this, which in turn powers these 2 belts, and it powers this right here. So this gearbox, another chain drive, you're not going to be able to follow this. Like I said, I will have the schematic. You're not going to be able to follow this. This is not a build guide. With some shafts going up, and then it gets into this drill. And it also powers the millstone for the bottom, which I found out, which I love. I did not realize you could do that, and it's amazing. The other side has this other backbone. It's a much smaller one. So it has this backbone of 2, which then powers this, set of belts right here. Well, this set of belts also powers this drill right here. I use a couple more chain drives along with some gearboxes, moves that power around. And then I have it going up to that drill, and then I have it going down and over to the fan. And that's going to push the air out this way. with how it's all set up to be working off one windmill, the windmill does glitch through. You can utilize the other power sources to not have a glitch through one. That's just what I have. And it makes it really nice and compact. So this is built all in a 5x5x5 space. Technically, these are outside that space, but this is storage. I don't count that. If it is the bulk storage at the end of the line, I normally don't count that in my kind of estimates of this because it's not really fair to the system. It's not fair to the system because this doesn't need to be here. I can have this just spit out and do whatever. Like, this is not mandatory for anything. So it's a little unfair in my eyes. But this does work at a max of 4 RPM. I would love to see people like try to make this even more compact and such. But remember, if you do make this more compact, it does still need 4 drills and it needs to have a press into an iron ingot. Because I know if I take out the iron ingot and if I go down to just 1, I can make this thing a lot smaller. That's not an issue. Like, I can make this smaller. I could probably fit this into, you know, maybe like a 4x4x4 or maybe even like down in the 3s, but that wouldn't be as fun. You know, you don't get as much. The yields are very slow. This is not something I would build in survival. This is pure proof of concept, just enjoying the moment kind of thing. And the only way I would do this in a survival world is if I go to chapter 2. If you guys want to see this built in like a chapter 2 method where it has a bunch of like brass stuff and, you know, it has all the brass funnels, the speed controller, yada yada yada, let me know down in the comments. That's the only way that this thing's gonna be better. That's the only thing that's gonna make this efficient, unless you know, feel like AFKing for days at a time, when you can make one that's a little bit worse and it makes like billions of iron. So I wouldn't really utilize this one if I was you. But like I said, I will be leaving this down below in the Discord if you want to join that. There's a bunch of really cool people. There's a bunch of really cool like different designs. There's also a community showcase area. Let me see your designs. I would love to see what people are, you know, creating and doing. Along with, I also stream Tuesday and Thursday, you know, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. CST. Sometimes create, sometimes other games, sometimes regular Minecraft. Who knows? It could be anything. And last but not least, thank you so much for watching. And if you did like the video, hit that like button and hit the sub button if you want to see videos, you know, pop up in the future in your sub thing, in your main screen, and wherever they go. They just kind of poof away magically sometimes though. So, you know, it is what it is. But guys, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye!